Picture this. You're a kid and it's your birthday. Your parents are throwing you a party at a playhouse. You arrive and see all your friends there. As you run around the playhouse, you stumble upon something strange. It looks to be an animatronic of some sort, but it could also be a person in a costume. It's staring at you, its head off to the side in a demented fashion. The only thing keeping you separated from it is a thin netting. This image is in fact real and not a product of AI or any image tampering. It's hard to tell exactly what the thing is supposed to be. Is it a bear or some type of rat? It looks to be holding something in its arms, possibly a guitar. It's very reminiscent of Chuck E. Cheese and the band he plays with on stage. But what is it doing behind the netting? Doing a reverse image search will bring you to this Tumblr post from Animatronic Appreciation. The post itself features 4 images. 2 of them show a gorilla in a golden tuxedo, and the other is our bear, rat, or whatever it is, with the second photo of it being an exact match. The main difference between the 2 is the degradation in quality. One is very grainy and pixelated, while the other is crystal clear. This still doesn't explain, though, who or what it is we are looking at. The Tumblr poster, whose name is Mordegard, explains that these are animatronics found at Funstation USA. Their names are Fats and Billy Bob, and they permanently reside within the children's playset. Funstation USA is very similar to Chuck E. Cheese. It's an indoor park that caters to young children. A look on their website under the Attractions header will bring you to a section called The Maze, which looks very similar to the setting in which the original photo takes place. Surprisingly enough, however, there are no signs of Billy Bob or Fats on the website. That's because Billy Bob and Fats are long gone. When businessman Robert L. Brock broke away from Chuck E. Cheese, he started a similar business called Showbiz Pizza Place. The restaurant and playhouse featured an arcade and animatronic stage shows. The band of animatronics was known as the Rockafire Explosion and consisted of Billy Bob, Fats, and other anthropomorphic animals. The band wouldn't stay together very long, as the decision to rebrand occurred in the early 1990s. As a result, the company began selling the animatronics to other restaurants and entertainment centers. There are also a handful of independent collectors who now have possession of the animatronics. This rebranding would explain how Billy Bob and Fats wound up in Funstation USA, but why they're not mascots or featured on their website or advertising. It might be for the best, however, as stumbling upon something like this on a playset would be downright terrifying.
12 years ago, a mysterious 2-minute video will be uploaded to YouTube. It would feature unsettling robotic sounds in the background and only one still image for the runtime of the clip. This appears to be a very close-up picture of a woman's face. In the video, the picture occasionally glitches, but it never cuts away from this one image. The title of this video, and presumably the image as well, is would.jpg. If we do an image back search, we'll end up on this page from the Secret Files wiki, which is dedicated to documenting death files, a Russian genre of internet horror. This image apparently may date all the way back to 2007, but the first confirmed sighting is from 2011. Supposedly, the image file depicted in this video has the ability to harm your computer, but only on Windows machines. This is definitely made up though, since this is the general premise of all death files, the fact that they can either harm you or your computer. That doesn't mean the image itself still isn't mysterious though. In a lot of ways, it really reminds me of the Jeff the Killer picture, especially the earlier JTK revisions. While the origin of the Jeff the Killer image may remain unknown, we do know exactly where would.jpg comes from. It's a cropped screenshot of this YouTube video. The title here is in Chinese. When translated, it reads, Japanese Crooked Head Sister Supernatural Incident. Although I wouldn't say there's anything supernatural about this. This is just a short snippet of Japanese TV, and the woman in question just so happened to have her head at an angle that looked pretty strange on camera, but nothing unnatural.
If you enjoy the content you've seen so far, make sure to subscribe to Something Sinister, and a huge shout out to Farrell Maguire for helping me with this video. A link to his channel will be in the description below. This image shows a person dressed up as Jeff the Killer. Like the photo it takes inspiration from, its origin is just as mysterious. The photo has shown up in various forum posts, including this recent one from 8 months ago. The makeup is pretty well done, but the eyes are the most disturbing part of it all. Reverse image searching brings us to this post on DeviantArt. The date on it reads June 1st, 2012. This would have been the peak time to cosplay as Jeff the Killer, as the original creepypasta story was released in 2008 and began garnering attention soon after. The description of the photo reads, "More pics of my Jeff for the movie." Beneath are 2 links marked teaser and bonus. Clicking on either link will take you to a video unavailable page. The poster's name is Snuff Bomb, and a quick look at their account will tell you that this Jack the Killer photo isn't the first and only. In fact, there are dozens of pictures showing Snuff Bomb as various creepypasta characters: Laughing Jack, Eyeless Jack, and of course, Jeff the Killer. But who is Snuff Bomb, and why are the links below the picture deactivated? The About section shows some of their account statistics, pages they're a part of, and a small piece of text that reads, "Just because it's a frequently asked question, yes, I created Laughing Jack." A quick search for the original Laughing Jack creepypasta shows Snuff Bomb under its tags. Snuff Bomb's real name is Steve Eikens. He's the man in the Jeff the Killer cosplay. While he is known throughout the creepypasta community as the creator of Laughing Jack, he is also known for something much worse. In 2014, many women started coming forward and telling their stories about Steve. These are stories that I can't share on YouTube, but are pretty easily available to the public. Since this, Steve has privated and deleted many videos he has done, including fan films of Jeff the Killer. This would explain why we are unable to access the links on his DeviantArt page. There does exist a YouTube channel called Snuff Bomb Archive, which has re-uploads from Steve's original page. In the video titled Jeff the Killer Movie Trailer, we can see clips of Steve in his Jeff the Killer cosplay, and it looks to be for the same project the original image is related to. Finding information on Steve in the present time is difficult, but there are many blogs and posts regarding the controversy. Take for example this X profile, which seems to be dedicated to reminding people what Steve supposedly did. It just goes to show that sometimes the people who create monsters can be just as bad.
Since time immemorial, humanity has been locked in an endless struggle against our own limits, always straining our reach to address the ever-burning question that seems to define our existence. How far can we go? First we conquered land, then the seas, the skies, and even space would eventually fall under our domain. But while we've been looking up and outwards, we've neglected to tame a place that exists within plain sight. An area that consists of the majority of the Earth's surface, teeming with life and yet holds very little evidence of human contact. In fact, we haven't even mapped out 25% of the ocean's surface. No place on Earth holds as many mysteries as the deep ocean and its surface. And whenever someone like James Cameron makes an expedition down to the depths, we all pay attention. because we genuinely have no idea what he'll find. Maybe it'll be one of the famed giant squids, or perhaps some other alien leviathan our imaginations couldn't even fathom. But you probably wouldn't expect to see this: a children's school chair on the ocean floor. Imagine, you're alone in some tiny one-man submarine slowly exploring the depths of our world, cut off from every other human by 3 kilometers of water, and your light suddenly illuminates this. What would go through your mind? Did this chair glitch out of reality and somehow end up here at rock bottom? I think coming across this would genuinely be one of the most frightening things you could see, just because of how out of place it is. So, how did it get there? Well, according to this article, it's part of a large collection of trash that unfortunately litters the ocean floor. It most likely fell off a boat. At least it resulted in this incredibly surreal photo.
This message was posted 15 years ago to r/tip of my tongue. Picture on 4chan of a woman's son who played with her new cell phone's camera, and when he was asleep, a creepy picture showed up. This is the picture in question. A child is seen sleeping in the background underneath a blanket, and just to the left of him is half of a creepy face. Its eye is wide open, staring right back at us, aware of our presence. Given the description provided by the OP, this photo was taken with a cell phone, and this creepy face was not present during the initial snapshot. In fact, it's something that either showed up or was discovered later. The photo itself gained popularity after accompanying this creepypasta story titled New Cell Phone. The story follows a kid playing with their mother's cell phone. One night, the son takes some photos before falling asleep. The mother picks up the phone and begins deleting the photos, only to stumble across this one. The mother refers to the figure on the left as an elderly woman's face. This story would then subsequently circulate the internet on forums like 4chan, with many pointing out the fact that the face looks similar to a ventriloquist doll, specifically the doll in Dead Silence. Using my motion graphics software, I laid the doll's face over the one in the photo, and the resemblance is similar. But what are the chances that someone has a life-size Dead Silence doll lying around? I suppose weirder things have happened. In a post on Reddit, someone mentions that the original picture started on fukung.net, a now defunct website where users could view random images. Most of the time the images would be humorous, but other times not so much. The Internet Archive has been kind enough to have saved over 300 images that used to circulate on fukung.net, but none of them are the one we're looking for. With no leads, I reached out to Nick Nocturne from Nightmind, who said that the doll could be Norman, a supposed evil doll who has his own Instagram account. The trail would then grow cold, however, as Norman denied these claims via direct message. This begs the question, what if the photo was created for the sole purpose of this creepypasta story? The author of the original story is unknown, and the story was written on December 2nd of 2010. Of all the surviving links, this is the oldest one I can find. Or so I thought. This aforementioned screenshot of the photo of a 4chan post dates back to 2008, 2 years prior to the image becoming popular through creepypasta. Farrell and I tried finding it on an archive of 4chan posts during 2008, but the ones found contained no images and were close, but not as old as this screenshot. With that being said, this, as we know it today, is the origin of this photo. Some cryptic 4chan post from 2008 used to share around and scare people.
I've been on YouTube since 2007, and one of my earliest memories on this site is this video. It's just a single red picture of a man. It shakes consistently throughout the entire runtime, but it never actually changes. The first half of the video is completely silent, but as it goes on, some harsh sounding bells start wildly ringing out, until the video abruptly cuts with a slightly different angle of the same man. I remember being terrified of this as a kid. I distinctly recall thinking that I could just barely make out the vague shapes of faces in the background forming behind this guy, although that's definitely the result of an overactive childish imagination. The title of this video is Mereana, Mordegard, Glesgorv. While the comments may be disabled now, we can use the Wayback Machine to see what this video page looked like only 2 weeks after this video was uploaded. And here we'll find only mystified viewers and no explanations. One really weird thing I noticed though is that in the recommendations in the sidebar, you'll mostly just find videos with the exact same title. What's going on here? Due to the notoriety of this video, I don't exactly have to do much investigating here. Very similarly to would.jpg, this video was passed around with a creepypasta to accompany it, telling users about how this image led to people gouging their eyes out and mailing them to YouTube's head office. Nowadays, this sort of horror story feels pretty lame and played out, but that wasn't the case in 2008, and this video spread like wildfire. People even turned it into one of those chain emails, threatening severe consequences if the user didn't pass it on to X amount of people. There were even rage comics made with this image. That's how you know you made it on the internet in 2008. Quickly after this meme started spreading around, the origin of the picture will be discovered. It's a photo of a marketing coordinator named Byron Cortez, who's from the US Virgin Islands. One thing I couldn't find out though is if this guy has ever publicly spoken out about this video. Does he know that his likeness was used to scare millions of people?